Students, today's class we will see about the abnormal uterine action. Normal labor coordinated uterine contraction associated with progressive dilatation of cervix and descent of the fetal head. Any deviation of normal pattern of uterine contractions affecting the course of labor is known as abnormal uterine action. Normal uterine contractions are polarity of the uterus means when the upper uterine segment contracts and lower uterine segment relaxes. Normally, there are two pacemakers, one situated at the each corona of the uterus. The uterine pacemakers generate uterine contractions in a coordinated fashion. The properties of a normal uterine contraction waves are: first, intensity of contraction diminishes from top to bottom of the uterus. The contraction wave starts from the pacemaker and propagates towards the lower uterine segment, and the duration of contraction diminishes progressively as the waves moves away from the pacemaker. In dysfunctional labor, the new pacemaker may come up anywhere in the uterus. The etiology of abnormal uterine actions. They prevent the first birth with the progressive age of the mother in prolonged pregnancy, overdistension of uterus, psychological factors, contracted pelvis, malpresentation, full bladder, injudicious administration of sedatives, premature attempt for a vaginal delivery through a it's not fully dilated cervix. The uterine pacemaker is situated in the corona of the uterus and this generates uterine contraction. Effective uterine contractions start at the corona and gradually sweeps downwards over the uterus. In primary dysfunctional labor, the uterine activity, instead of being governed by a single dominant pacemaker, shifted to less efficient contractions due to emergence of other pacemaker foci. Oxytocin therapy may be effective in restoring the global and effective uterine contraction. The primary dysfunctional labor is defined when the cervix dilates less than 1 cm per hour following a normal latent phase of labor. It is the most common abnormality and mostly corrected by amniotomy and or oxytocin augmentation. Secondary dysfunctional labor or secondary arrest is defined when the cervical dilatation stops after the active phase of labor has started normally. The secondary arrest or secondary dysfunctional labor may be due to poor uterine contractions, cessation of cervical dilatation despite strong uterine contractions, like mechanical factors like disproportion and malpresentation. That means first abnormal uterine action is uterine inertia, otherwise known as hypotonic activity. Uterine inertia is the common type of abnormal uterine contraction but is comparatively less serious. It may complicate any stage of labor. It may be present from the beginning of the labor or may develop subsequently after a variable period of effective contraction. Uterine contractions are diminished, duration is shortened, good relaxation between the contraction and increased intervals between the contraction. Diagnosis is by less pain, less hardening of the uterus become relaxed and poor dilatation of cervix. Effect on mother and the child. Maternal exhaustion, fetal distress both are rare and late. Management, place of cesarean delivery, presence of any contracted pelvis, malpresentations, and evidence of fetal or maternal distress. In these three cases, the patient may be taken for cesarean section. For a vaginal delivery, general measures are: keep up with the morale of the patient, maternal stress, pain and anxiety appear to inhibit uterine contractions through release of endogenous catecholamines. Posture of the woman is changed, supine position is avoided. To empty the bladder, catheterization is made. To maintain hydration by infusion of ringer-lactate solution, adequate pain relief should be given for the patient. Active measures include acceleration of uterine contractions can be brought about by lower rupture of membrane followed by oxytocin drip. The drip rate is gradually increased until effective contractions are set up. The drip is to be continued till 1 hour after the delivery. Incoordinate uterine action. This usually appear in the active stage of labor. The hypertonic state of uterus arises from any of the conditions such as spastic lower uterine segment, colicky uterus, asymmetrical uterine contraction, constriction ring, or generalized tonic contractions of the uterus, and all these states are collectively called as incoordinate uterine action. Increased frequency and the duration of uterine contraction cause rise in baseline tone and thereby diminish circulation in the plasmalar intervillus space. These contractions fail to make progressive cervical effacement and dilatation. Frequent contraction of low amplitude causes elevation of basal intrauterine pressure. There is an often maternal discomfort will be there. Pain is present before, during and after the contraction. This results in fetal hypoxia in labor. Placental abruption is often associated with a high baseline that is more than 25 mm of mercury. On CTG, the FHS shows us reduced variability and late decelerations. Uterine hyperstimulations due to oxytocin are often associated with the fetal tachycardia, that is fetal adrenergic activity due to fetal distress. Constriction ring, generalized tonic uterine contractions and cervical dystocia have got their own separate clinical entity and such as will be discussed separately later. Spastic lower uterine segment, uterine contractions. In this case, the uterine contractions, the fundal dominance is lacking and often there is a reverse polarity. The pacemakers do not work in rhythm. The lower segment contractions are stronger. Inadequate relaxation in between the contractions and baseline tone is raised above the critical level of 20 mm of mercury. The diagnosis is by the patient is in agony with unbearable pain referred to the PAG. There are evidence of dehydration and ketoacidosis. The bladder is frequently distant and often there is a retention of urine. Distension of the stomach and bowels are visible. There are premature attempts to bear down. Abdominal palpation reveals uterus is tender and gentle manipulation excites hardening of the uterus with pain. Palpation of the fetal parts is difficult. The fetal distress appear early. Internal examination may reveal cervix which is thick, edematous, hangs loosely like a curtain, not well applied to the presenting part, inappropriate dilatation of the cervix, absence of the membranes and meconium stained liquoramine may be there. Effect on the fetus. The fetal distress appears early due to plasmal insufficiency caused by inadequate relaxation of the uterus. Management is by there is no place of oxytocin augmentation with this abnormality. Cesarean section is done in majority of cases. Prior correction of dehydration and ketoacidosis must be achieved by rapid infusion of Ringer's solution. Constriction ring, otherwise known as contraction ring, called as ring. The localized spastic contraction of the ring of the circular muscle fibers of the uterus, usually situated at the junction of upper and lower uterine segment around the neck of the fetus in cephalic presentation. It may appear in all stages of labor, usually reversible and complete. Diagnosis. It is very difficult. It is revealed during cesarean section in the first stage, during forceps application in the second stage, and manual removal during the third stage of labor. Causes. The main causes of the constriction ring include injurious administration of oxytocin, premature attempts, means premature rupture of membrane, premature attempt at an instrumental delivery through a not fully dilated cervix. Treatment. If it is diagnosed in the first stage, diagnosis made usually during the cesarean section. Second stage, failure to deliver the head even after correct and judicious application of forceps. Third stage, diagnosis made during the manual removal of the placenta. Hourglass contraction. Placenta may be trapped by localized contraction of circular muscles of the uterus situated at the junction of upper and lower uterine segment. Administration of tocolytics, undue irritability of uterus may by premature attempt to deliver the placenta. All this will lead to hourglass contraction. Management include the ring must be relaxed by deepening the plane of anesthesia. Then cone-shaped hand is inserted and placenta separated from above to downwards. The next abnormal uterine action is cervical dystocia. Progressive cervical dilatation needs an effective stretching force by presenting part. Failure of cervical dilatation is known as cervical dystocia. It may be due to insufficient uterine contractions, malpresentations, malposition, abnormal relationship between the cervix and the presenting part, spasm, that is contractions of the cervix. Cervical dystocia may be primary or secondary. Primary is commonly observed during the first birth when the external os is failed to dilate. In the case of rigid uterus, cervix, insufficient uterine contractions and others, and treatment is in the presence of associated complications like malpresentation cesarean section is preferred. If the head is sufficiently low down with the only thin rim of cervix left behind, the rim may be pushed up manually during the contraction or traction is given by vendors. In others, where the cervix is much thin out but not half dilated, the hand incisions at 2 o'clock and 10 o'clock positions followed by forceps or vendors extraction is quite safe and effective. Secondary cervical dystocia. This type of cervical dystocia results usually due to excess scarring or rigidity of the cervix from the effect of previous operation or disease. The others are post-delivery, post-operative scarring, cervical cancer. Generalized tonic contractions, otherwise known as uterine tetany. Pronounced retraction occurs involving the whole uterus up to the level of internal os. So, there is no physiological differentiation of active upper segment and the passive lower segment of the uterus. The whole uterus undergoes a sort of tonic muscular spasm holding the fetus inside that is the active retention of the fetus. Usually there is no risk of rupture of membrane because there is no physiological differentiation between upper and lower uterine segment. New pacemakers appear all over the uterus. Failure to overcome the obstructions by the powerful contraction of the uterus, injurious administration of oxytocin. The clinical features include prolonged labor with severe and continuous pain. Abdominal examination reveals uterus somewhat smaller in size, tense and tender. Fetal parts are neither well defined nor FHS head. Vaginal examination reveals head with a big catwood dry and edematous vagina. Treatment: correction of dehydration, ketoacidosis, rapid infusion of lactate, antibiotics to control the infection, adequate pain relief, and hypercontractility induced by the oxytocin can be managed by tocolytics. Oxytocin infusion should be stopped. Cesarean delivery done in majority, especially when the obstruction is suspected. Destructive operation is the option when the fetus is dead. Precipitate labor. When the combined duration of first and second stage is less than 2 hours, we call it as a precipitate labor. Rapid expulsion is due to combined effect of hyperactive uterine contractions associated with the diminished soft tissue resistance. Labor is short as the rate of cervical dilatation is 5 cm per hour or more for an nulliparous woman. The maternal risk factors include extensive cervical lacerations, vaginal and perineum, PPH due to hypertonia, inversion, uterine rupture, amniotic fluid embolism. The fetal risk include intracranial stress, serious injuries. The treatment: previous history should be carefully watched, controlled delivery of the head, liberal episiotomy, elective induction by controlled delivery. Oxytocin augmentation should be avoided. Tonic uterine contraction and retraction, that is Bandl's ring or pathological ring. This is predominantly due to obstructed labor. The gradual increase in the intensity, duration and frequency of the contraction. Relaxation phase becomes small and small. A circular groove formed between the active upper uterine segment and distant lower uterine segment called a pathological retraction or Bandl's ring. Pathological anatomy of the uterus: there is a gradual increase in the intensity, duration and frequency of uterine contraction. The relaxation phase becomes less and less. Ultimately, a state of tonic contraction develops. Retraction, however, continues. The lower segment elongates and becomes progressively thinner to accommodate the fetus driven from the upper uterine segment. A circular groove encircling the uterus is formed between the active upper segment and distended lower segment called pathological retraction ring or Bandl's ring. Due to pronounced retraction, there is fetal jeopardy or even death of the fetus. In primigravida, further retraction ceases in response to obstruction and labor comes to standstill. That is state of uterine exhaustion. The contractions may recommence after a brief period of rest when renewed vigor. But in multiparar, retraction continues with the progressive circumferential dilatation and thinning of the lower uterine segment. There is a progressive rise of Bandl's ring moving nearer and nearer to the umbilicus and ultimately your lower uterine segment ruptures. The clinical features include patient is in agony with continuous pain, features of exhaustion, ketoacidosis, abdominal palpation reveals upper segment, distended and tender. Pathological ring placed obliquely between umbilicus and symphysis pubis and rise during the course of time. Fetal parts may not be well defined. FHS usually absent. Internal examination revealed vagina dry and hot with discharge offensive, cervix fully dilated, membranes are absent, cause of obstetrical labor is revealed. Prevention. It is a preventable condition, so abnormality in either passage or passenger can be detected during the antenatal or early intranatal period and the delivery by cesarean section. The treatment, rupture of the uterus to be excluded, correction of dehydration, ketoacidosis by infusion of ring-lactate, adequate pain relief, internal version is contraindicated, but the parenteral antibiotic should be given. Cesarean is done in majority of the cases. This is the difference between constriction ring and retraction ring in the nature, cause, situation, the condition of the uterus, maternal conditions, but vaginal examination findings and the end results and the principle of treatment. Abnormal uterine action is due to development of abnormal polarity in the uterus. It is manifest as uterine inertia, that is in common, or hypertonic dysfunction due to mechanical fact, that is the obstruction. Hypertonic dysfunction may end either in the formation of Bandel's ring or precipitate labor. Incoordinate uterine action, that is asymmetric uterine contraction, constriction ring and cervical dystocia, can affect the health of both mother and the fetus adversely. It is important to detect the abnormal uterine action early and to institute management appropriately to reduce maternal and neonatal morbidity and mortality. Preventive measures of dystocia due to abnormal uterine actions include quality of antenatal care, emotional support to the parturient, and close monitoring of the labor can reduce abnormal uterine action. Induction of labor should be judicious, especially when the cervix is unfavorable. Amniotomy in the latent phase or as in the routine procedure is to be avoided. During the course of labor, the woman should be given adequate moral support. Rest and analgesic hydration should be maintained. Management of labor should be plotted on a cartographical so that any deviation from the normal is detected and managed early. Thank you.